Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a sad day when that member who spoke writes his own speech notes. I think he should stick to the notes given to by his comms team. And the only cynicism really is by that honourable member there. He is an honourable member. And being on part of the committee together, Mr. Speaker, when we were there hearing submissions around the Housing Accords and Special Housing Area Bill. Mr. Speaker, we know that this bill is a short-term process in order to facilitate what we believe is an important part of this process in addressing these issues. This bill provides a short-term legislative tool that seeks to improve housing affordability by facilitating an increase in land and housing supply. Mr. Speaker, we heard there were 64 submissions that were written. There were 40 that we heard as a select committee. And Mr. Speaker, we did hear the concerns. We heard from the local government in New Zealand, the Mayor for Tauranga, Lawrence Yule, came and he spoke on behalf of all the territorial authorities. Oh, the Mayor of Hawke's Bay, sorry, I apologise, Mayor of Hawke's Bay. And Hastings, oh well, here you go, he's moving all the time. He's a very fluid mayor. But Mr. Speaker, look, can I just say that I just want to read from the submissions because we want to deal with the facts and not just with assumptions. This is important. I'd like that member to listen to this. So here are the key points that were brought out by Lawrence Yule when he spoke to the Select Committee. And this is what he said. The local government sector fully understands both the rationale behind the Housing Accords and Special Housing Areas Bill. We support many aspects of the bill, but there are key matters we diverge on. The principal matter we do not support is the override provision proposed. Which is fair to understand that. But let me just say that we heard that time and time and time again. The opposition have continued to say that there was total sort of opposition to the bill. Many said this, they understand and support the intent of the bill, they understand the rationale of the bill, but the devil is obviously in the detail. Mr. Speaker, I want to go straight to that point that was raised by Lawrence Yule, and particularly in dealing with the override principle, because it did cause some concern. We even heard from the Auckland City Council who shared this. And so, as a select committee, we heard these concerns. But however, Mr. Speaker, we also too know that it's important that we needed to have a process that allows for an opportunity when there is no ability to have an accord, when there is no agreement that is made, then we need to be able to act, because that's what our community is asking for. They're asking for action. So this is some of the amendments that the Select Committee have made. Some submitters were concerned about central government being able to intervene to speed up development if agreement cannot be reached with local councils. The government wants to partner with councils, but if agreements cannot be reached, there must be a mechanism to streamline consenting and plan changes when these are also needed. The bill now includes the option of inserting a dispute resolution process into the Housing Accord. Mr. Speaker, this actual option actually came from a number of the submitters. They said, look, we know we don't like it. However, we know that it's there. It's a principle of last resort. However, if it is there, then can we ensure that there's a clause in there that allows us to go to some form of arbitration or dispute resolution so we can ensure that we come to some agreement that's there. Mr. Speaker, there are a number of things that are also very important. Mr. Speaker, the Productivity Commission had identified that land supply is definitely one of the key issues. And up in Auckland, the Honourable Speaker there talked about the fact that maybe many of us don't know what it is in regards to the purchasing and procurement of homes. Mr. Speaker, many of our families are in that very same situation. Housing can be affordable by focusing on 5 key areas. And we've heard from the opposition to say that this bill does not allow us to actually realise affordability because it's not factored in there. But Mr. Speaker, those who do understand construction, who do understand consenting, know that there are a multiplicity of different things you need to tackle at the same time. This has been evidenced by the Productivity Commission. So there's 5 key areas. Land supply is one, material cost is another, infrastructure, productivity in the construction sector and compliance costs. Mr. Speaker, at the moment, my taxi driver, for instance, who drives me, his name is Rick, he's purchasing a house over in Australia, over in Melbourne actually, and this is what he told me. To build there, it's costing him around about $800 per square metre. Mr. Speaker, back here in New Zealand, in Wellington, it would cost him around about $1,700 to $1,800 because that's the average cost of what it is. So we know that it's an issue, we know that's important, but Mr. Speaker, there are 5 key areas that we're focusing on, and that's what this bill is doing. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, I want to finish off because I've been concerned about New Zealand First's concern about, I suppose, people have called it the Chan ban. In other words, this hatred against our Asian, our Chinese, what you call fellows who've come here, who've become citizens and who've wanted to be a productive contributing citizen to our society. They've begun to say that it's been the pressure that they have seen, that they have put on the pricing and the purchasing of homes. But Mr. Speaker, can I say this? The BNZ survey shows that around 3 to 4% of house sales are to foreign buyers. 3 to 4%. Barfoot and Thompson have also put the number of foreign buyers at around 4%. Can I also say that the Honourable Member Dennis O'Rourke said, and he talked about the fact is that we should ban these foreign buyers. Well, the majority of those who purchase who are foreign actually are Australians, Mr. Speaker. So where do we end? Where does it end? Mr. Speaker, this is an important bill. It's part of a suite of other things that we're doing. There's another piece of legislation that's also coming through. It's the Housing Accord Special Housing Area Bill, Mr. Speaker. It tackles 5 key areas. We believe that this bill will allow us to see not only land supply being sort of more available, but also too, Mr. Speaker, then seeing the sale and the cost of homes coming down. Mr. Speaker, this is a good bill. I commend this bill to the House.
Moana Maki, 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and Labour will not be supporting this Housing Accords and Special Areas Bill. And it's not because we don't think that those accords